If you do anything today, please just take 5 minutes of your time to watch this video and learn all about the charity that Rock the Mic 2025 is fundraising for this year.
Hiya, Chuck.
Alright, Chuck. Have you seen the website?
Oh, I absolutely love it.
Isn't it amazing? The full lineup is on there, the tickets are on sale.
I know, it's all in aid of the charity Combat Stress.
They're a fantastic charity, aren't they? Remind me again what they do.
Yeah, the charity specialises in assisting veterans with mental health, and it helps them and gives them treatment.
Guys, what you're about to hear is the true story of one of our very own war veterans, Andrew Moore, and his journey with combat stress. Andy spent 7 years in the army, serving in Iraq as part of Operation Telic 2 and then in Afghanistan. A decade after leaving the military, he started to experience mental health issues, so he turned to combat stress for help. Andy joined the army aged 17 in 2000, starting off with a year-long Army Foundation course at Harrogate before joining the King's Regiment, which later became the Duke of Lancaster Regiment, and he trained as a sniper. I was sent to Iraq for the first time in 2003, he says. Reality kicked in then. All the training I'd been doing was going to be put to the test. I remember getting off the plane in Iraq and being hit by heat. I thought it was heat from the plane's engine, but it wasn't. I was 21, only young, but not as young as some who went. I was apprehensive, but when you get over there, it becomes your normal life because you're doing normal things like having breakfast. You almost get complacent, and then you realise that you could be attacked at any second. However, the realities of army life in Iraq soon started to hit home for Andy. When people started to not come back off patrol, or when you were on patrol and got attacked, it all became real to me, he says. You'd be talking to someone and the next minute they were gone. If you were in charge of that patrol, you took some of the blame. Andy says his trauma comes from several different events from this time in the army, including an incident where lives depended on a split-second decision. When you're a sniper and you get sent somewhere, you make the decisions, he says. You have someone there with you as your spotter, but you make the call. There was a time in Iraq where I had to make a quick decision about whether to act, and my spotter didn't agree with me. I took it into account but decided to take the shot. It was hard, but if I hadn't, our soldiers would have died. I'm certain of that. I had to look at the bigger picture, but it ruined us both. And a couple of weeks later, my spotter killed himself. What happened to me in Iraq didn't really affect me at the time. I just carried on. You don't have time to think about it, and mental health in men wasn't a big thing back then. Andy left the army in 2007 and went back to Manchester where he grew up. It took a while to settle into civilian life, but 10 years after leaving the army, he started to experience mental health issues. I was having dreams where I was covered in blood and they seemed so real, he says. Even on nights out, I'd see things that weren't really there. Then I wouldn't go home. I was just in self-destruction mode. I'd never really been a drinker, but I was drinking loads and taking drugs for a bit, which was when the anger would come out. I was over the top angry, never violent towards anyone else, but I'd break doors and wardrobes and even put a knife through my hand once. In 2022, a friend's girlfriend suggested Andy call Combat Stress. Recognising he needed help, he called their helpline a couple of weeks later before being diagnosed with PTSD. He went on to have online treatment, including their Cope Using the Senses group, which is aimed at supporting veterans in managing their symptoms. I have a grounding pebble now, Andy says. I respond well to smells, so I have a ridiculous aftershave collection as it helps me. I go to the gym before work too. I have all these things in place to help now, and I do them even if I'm not going through anything. After the groups, Andy had one-to-one trauma-focused therapy sessions with one of Combat Stress's expert clinicians. I didn't want to do it, he says. I didn't want to talk to anyone as I didn't think I was ready. I was a bit scared, but once I start something, I see it through. My clinician became part of what I considered my home network, and in the end, I didn't want to part ways with her. She taught me a lot and made sure I speak to my wife Tony about everything. I'd been having therapy for a while, but hadn't been letting Tony in, so I opened up to her and told her everything. That's when I started to recover, and Tony has been my rock throughout everything. Andy has now completed treatment and accepts PTSD as part of who he is. I'm more relaxed and I'm not as angry or aggressive as I was. Not even close, he says. I'm a better, calmer person. I'm a mental health first aider now, and I'm keen to be involved with Combat Stress National Veterans Voice Group. Veterans should contact Combat Stress 100%. They were the one for me. It's such a harrowing story, isn't it? And I'm absolutely honoured that he's going to be there with us on the night, as well as the Mayor and Mayoress of Blackpool. And I'm pretty sure we've got a few other aces up our sleeve for the night, haven't we?
Oh, we have. But we're not revealing anything just yet.
It's going to be amazeballs.
I can't wait.
Are you coming?